Jai Shishi Guru Garanga Gandhar Jai sorry. Jai Shishi Guru Garanga Gandhar Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Guru Dev Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Mahā-bhāgavata Śrīla Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopala Bhatta Dasagurnath Shard Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Sarva Abhishta Vedanta Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda Ki Jai Shri Amuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya Ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai Shri Harinam Saṅkīrtana Ki Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata Ki Jai Jai Shri Harinam Saṅkīrtana Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Hare Krishna, Champak Mataji, Satya Mataji, and Raseshwari Mataji. Dandavat pranams to all of you. Okay, so I am going to start the Mangala Charan. Where is it? Okay. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ajanulambita Bhujao Kanakavadato Saṅkīrtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishvambaro Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Namastrikala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cha Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha Jai 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 Vishvambara Dvijaraj Jaya Vishvambara Priya Vaishnava Samaj Gaurachandra Jai Dharma Setu Mahadir Jai Saṅkīrtana Moy Sundar Sharir Jai Nityanandir Bandhava Dhana Pran Jai Gadadhar Advaitar Prema Dham Jai Shri Jagarananda Priya Atishay Jai Vakreshwar Kashishwarir Hriday Jai Jai Śrīvāsa Priya Varganath Jiva Pratikora Prabhu Shubha Drishtipat Madhya-khaṇḍa Katha Jeno Amriter Khanda Jai Katha Shunile Ghuche Antar Pashanda Madhya-khaṇḍa Katha Bai Shuno Ekachite Saṅkīrtana Arambha Hoilo Jeno Mate Tavaivasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vigyat devi tvam nayamam charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai, Chiptashtakamadditarangamadhe, Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna, Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvāsa Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once again. Sorry. You want to see how I was getting distracted? Look, never mind. I just got an idea for the songbook right before we started. I'll tell you after. Ore mura lok shuno Chaitanya Mangal. Chaitanya, this is the glories of Caitanya-bhāgavata and Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur from Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. Ore mura lok shuno Chaitanya Mangal. Chaitanya Mahima Jate Jani Beshakal. Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Ved Vyas. Chaitanya Lila Vyas Vrindavana Das. Vrindavana Dasa Koilo Chaitanya Mangal. Jahara Shravane Nashe Sarvaya Mangal. Chaitanya Nitar Jate Jani Mahima. Jate Jani Krishna Bhakti Siddhanter Sima. Bhagavate Jata Bhakti Siddhanter Sar. Likhiachen Iha Jani Koriya Udhar. Chaitanya Mangala Shune Jari Pashandi Javan, Sheho Maha Vaishnava Hoy Tatokon, Manushe Rachite Nare Aiche Granta Dhanya, Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Vakta Shri Chaitanya, Vrindavana Dasa Pore Koti Namaskar, Aiche Granta Korite Ho Tarila Sangsar, Narayani Chaitanya Ruchishta Bhajan, Tar Garve Janmila Shridasa Vrindavan, Tar Ki Arbhuta Chaitanya Charita Varnan, Jahara Shravane Shuddha Koilo Tribhuvan, Shahaje Vichitra Madhur Chaitanya Vihar, Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Amrite Dhar. By nature, all the activities of Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet, and when they are described by Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki jai, Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, the Gaudiya Bhashya of Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Priya Didi. And let's see, how come the Zoom thing went away? One second. I'm just seeing, I can't see all who's here right now. Show video panel. There. I don't know why that got hidden. So you want to see the idea I got right before I started, right before I went live. Here, I'll show you. So, you know, during kirtan time, like during bhajans, I always see people flipping the page to see how many verses are left in a song. And so right now we're trying to make it so you don't have to flip the page, but sometimes you have to, like sometimes the song's just too many verses to fit on 2 pages. And so in those cases, I had an idea of at the bottom, right now we're gonna move the page number to the header, and we're gonna put the title of the song in the header, just to make it easier for navigation. And then I was thinking, so the footer, like at the bottom, will be empty. And oh God, why is it not? It's so annoying. It's not showing the whole thing. Here. So I was thinking of doing something like this. I have to download this. It's so annoying. Okay. Downloads. Here. I just made an example and sent it. So at the bottom of the page, I was thinking of doing this. So this is Ganga Stotram, and it moves on to the next page. And so at the bottom of the page, it would just say, like, well, I think remaining is a better word, but 3 verses remaining. And then nobody ever needs to wonder if the song's over or how many verses are left. Nobody will ever have to flip the page to check in the middle of the kirtan. You like the idea? Vajantimala seems to like it. Yeah. All right. So, Haribo Rukmini Didi. Haripriya likes it. Cool. Oh wait, and I'm seeing the chat here. Cool. Satyamataji also likes it. Great. Oh, you can hear sounds in the background. Okay, so I need to turn on noise suppression. Like you can hear the kirtan going on outside. 1 second, let me fix that. Noise suppression. 1 second, I just need to go into settings here. So today is actually a bit of a longer reading, so I'm gonna just jump right into it. Sorry for that distraction. I just, when I get an idea in my head, I get excited about it. Zoom background noise removal. There. Okay. Now there should be no more background noise. Is that better? There's also one more level of background noise removal, but it distorts my voice, so that's why but if you can still hear it, then I can turn that on as well. Rukmini Didi saying, couldn't it just say the total verses in the title? Yeah, I don't know though. Would that look too like with every song to have a number next to it? I'm not sure what that would look like. I mean, I guess, yeah, maybe we can try that out and see what it would look like. But like it's pretty rare that we do that actually. Like most of the songs we have it finish at the so you don't have to turn the page. It's a more rare thing. But yeah. Oh, you can still hear it. Okay, I'm gonna turn on full on noise suppression then. Make my voice sound a little bit different, I think, but it's not too bad. Okay. Hopefully this is good now. You can't hear it anymore, right, Satyamataji? Unless it's not working for some reason. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again and we will begin. Okay, so this is an exciting chapter. Chapter 23, Wandering About Navadvīpa on the day the Lord delivered the Kazi. This is the first, yeah, it's the first civil disobedience movement against and this is a pretty dramatic thing, you know, during the time when the Mughal Empire. So, okay, This chapter describes Śrīman Mahāprabhu's, and this is a chapter summary by Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. I'm not going to read the whole thing because we have a lot to read, but this chapter describes Śrīman Mahāprabhu's enjoyment of nightly saṅkīrtana with his devotees. A milk-drinking brahmacāri's request to Śrīvāsa to see the saṅkīrtana dancing Śrīvāsa's bringing him to his house, the Lord's anger, the Lord's explanation on the insignificance of useless austerity, the Lord's mercy on the milk-drinking brahmacārī, the Lord's instruction to the inhabitants of Navadvīpa to chant the mahā-mantra. That's what we'll end with today. And then tomorrow we'll read about the breaking of the mridanga by the Kazi, the Lord's resultant anger, and the procession to subdue the Kazi, the Hari Kirtan throughout the villages of Navadvīpa, the auspicious welcome at every house, and the showering of flowers by the demigods, the inhabitants' ecstatic festival, the atheists' envy, the Lord's instructions to subdue the Kazi, the Lord's neglect of the Kazi on the request of the devotees, the Lord's visits to the villages of the conch shell merchants and weavers, the Lord's visits to the house of Sridhar, his drinking water from Sridhar's broken iron water pot, and narrations of the devotees' glories. Wow, a lot in this chapter. Okay, 1 second. My throat's get kind of dry. I'm gonna get some water. Hari Bol Krishna Mai Didi. 1 second. All right, I am back. Okay, so let's begin. Jai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Guna Nidhi, Jaya Vishwambara Jaya Bhavadir Vidhi. All glories to Shri Krishna Chaitanya, the ocean of transcendental qualities. All glories to Vishwambar, the controller of personalities like Shiva. Gaudiya Bhashya by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. The phrase Bhavadir Vidhi is explained as follows. The Lord is the eternal controller of the guna avatars Shiva and Brahma. The two sides of eternity are creation and destruction. Since the Supreme Lord is the controller of both, since he's the controller of both the temporary and the eternal, he is the controller of personalities like Shiva. One thing that would be nice is just to see the chapters, like, get the flow. 1 second. I'm just opening up Caitanya-bhāgavata here. Okay. Okay. So the previous chapters that we read, just so that we get the flow of the sequence of Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Okay, so chapter 19 was the Lord's pastimes in Advaita's house, the glories of Murari Gupta, the Lord's chastisement of Devananda Pandit, delivering Shachi Devi from offenses, and descriptions of Nityananda's qualities, and then we come to this verse. All right. Then we come to this chapter. Jai Jai Nityananda Priya Dvijaraj, Jai Jai Caitanya-bhāgavata Samaj. All glories to the beloved Lord of Nityananda and the best of the Brahmanas. All glories to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. He namate Navadvīpe Prabhu Vishwambhar, Krida kore nahi sarva nayana gochar. In this way, Lord Vishwambar enjoyed pastimes in Navadvīpa that could not be seen by everyone. Second. No one is eligible to see Gaudiya Bhashya. No one is eligible to see all of Lord Vishwambar's pastimes. One is only able to see the pastimes that he is qualified to see. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10:43-17, it is stated, there's that famous verse, Malanam ashanarninam narabara, strinam smaro murtiman, gopanam svajano satam kshitibhujam, shasta swapitro shishu, mrityur bhoja pater virad avidusham, tatvam param yoginam, vrishinam paradevate tividito, rangam gata sagraja. Means the various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways when he entered it with his elder brother. The wrestlers saw Krishna as a lightning bolt, the men of Mathura as the best of males, the women as Cupid in person, the cowherd men as their relative, the impious rulers as a chastiser, his parents as their child, the king of the Bhojas as death, the unintelligent as the Supreme Lord's universal form, the yogis as the absolute truth, and the Vrishnis as their supreme worshipable deity. So that same Krishna was seen in so many different ways by so many different people. Okay. Dine dine mahā-mantra Navadvīpa puri Vaikunta nayaka Vishvambara avatari. Day after day, the abode of Navadvīpa became filled with ecstasy because of the presence of Vishvambar, the Lord of Vaikunta. Priyatama Nityananda Shange Kutuhale Bhakata Samaje Nija Nama Rase Kele. Accompanied by his beloved Nityananda, the Lord engaged in pastimes of relishing his own names in the association of the devotees. And it says Kele, that's more like. and Kutuhale. Kutuhale and Kele. Kutuhale is Kutuhale. I mean, I always have a difficult time with the word Kutuhale. It's like how do you, well, one way it's like curious, but no, it's not curious here. It's like in delight, fun. Kutuhal. One second. Kutuhal. It says curiosity, inquisitiveness, eagerness, wonder. None of wonder, maybe wondrous. And then kele. Kele is like, kela means to play. Let's say, I'd say like revel. He revels in his pastimes of, yeah. Nam and Nija Nam Rase. Gaudiya Bhashya. The phrase Nija Nam Ras is explained as follows. The Supreme Lord is Rasamoy, are full of transcendental mellows. The Supreme Lord and his holy names are non-different. Therefore, the holy names are also Rasamoy. The Supreme Lord's names, our spiritual names, are distinct from ordinary names or designations. Lord Gaurahari forgets himself in the transcendental ecstasy of chanting the holy names in the midst of his devotees. Affection for his devotees is the cause of his forgetfulness. Pratidin nishabhage koroye kirtan, bhakta binu thakite na paye anya jan. The Lord performed kirtan every night. No one except the devotees could participate. Gaudiya Bhashya. While the Lord taught at night the process of worship through kirtan, outsiders were not allowed. Eto boro Vishwambar Shaktir Mahā-mantra Bhuvane Langite na pare ke hos. Oops. It's like, what's Mahā-mantra? Okay. Okay. Eto boro Vishwambar Shaktir Mahima Tribhuvane Langite na pare ke hosima. The glories of Vishwambar's prowess were so great that no one in the three worlds knew their limits. Gaudiya Bhashya. The glories of Vishwambar's prowess were unique. Since human knowledge is based on the three modes of material nature, it is unable to grasp transcendental concepts. Important point. Agochare dure thaki mili dasha panche manda matra bole jama ghare jai pache. Hidden in the distance, 5 or 10 people gathered together and spoke bad words that would take them to hell. Gaudiya Bhashya. Ordinary, unqualified people who blaspheme the process of worshipping the Supreme Lord are punished by Yamaraj after they die. Keho bole koli kale kiser Vaishnav jato deko hero peta posha gula sab. Someone said, what kind of Vaishnav can there be in Kali Yuga? Those Vaishnavas we see are simply engaged in filling their stomachs. Gaudiya Bhashya. The blasphemers always say the Vaishnavas are simply interested in filling their bellies. Their idea was that particularly in the age of quarrel, there is no possibility of finding any Vaishnavas or attaining devotional service to Vishnu. Keho bole e golar bandi hata pai, jale phele diye jadi tobe dukha jai. My God. Someone else said, if I can tie their hands and legs and throw them in the water, my unhappiness will be mitigated. Jesus Christ. Gaudiya Bhashya. If we can tie up the hands and legs of these materialistic Vaishnavas who are only interested in filling their own stomachs and then throw them in the water and get rid of them, then all our miseries will be extinguished. Keho bole are bhai jani ho nishchita grama khana nashta koilo nimai pandita. Someone said, oh brother, know for certain that Nimai Pandit will ruin the entire village. Gaudiya Bhashya. By introducing pure devotional service, Nimai Pandit has destroyed the happiness of the village. Therefore, the entire Navadvīpa has been ruined. Boy dekhayen shabe dekibar tare antare nahi ko bhagya chaturye ki kore. They would threaten the devotees so that they could see the kirtan. But because they were unfortunate, what could their cunning accomplish? Gaudiya Bhashya. Because of the miscreants' misfortune, the cunning they displayed to see Śrī Caitanya-dev's most confidential saṅkīrtana pastimes by instilling fear in the devotees was ineffective. I think it was supposed to say instilling. Installing doesn't make sense. Oops. Saṅkīrtana kore Prabhu Shachir Nandan Jagater Chitta-vritti koro yeshodhan. As the son of Shachi performed Saṅkīrtana, the consciousness of everyone in the world was purified. Gaudiya Bhashya. By glorifying Krishna through kirtan, Lord Shachinandan purified the enjoyment-prone hearts of people who were averse to the Lord. Rukmini Didi said, I often wonder why Mahaprabhu chose to Advent in Bengal. Yeah, it is a good question. Dekhite na paye log kore anutap sabe abhagya boli chhadaye nishvasa. Ordinary people lamented because they could not see the kirtan. They sighed deeply and considered themselves unfortunate. Kehova kaharo thai parihara kore sangope saṅkīrtana giya dekhi bharatare. Some people requested the devotees to let them inside so that they could secretly watch the saṅkīrtana. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word parihar means request or appeal. Someone revealed his own misfortune and requested one of the devotees to allow him to secretly watch the Lord's kirtan pastimes. Prabhu she sarvagya iha sarva dase jane e bhoye keho kare na loy she sthane. All the Lord's servants understood that the Lord knew everything. So in fear of his reaction, they did not take anyone inside. We already saw the example of what happened to, was it Malini's mother, right? Śrīvāsa's mother, Śrīvāsa Pandit's mother-in-law. Eko brahmacārī she Navadvīpe boishe tapasri parama sadhu boshoye nirdoshe. There was one particular brahmachari who lived in Navadvīpa. He was austere, saintly, and faultless. I couldn't imagine, I'm just thinking about Rukmani's question though, but I couldn't imagine Mahaprabhu appearing anywhere else. Like, that would be like, anyways. Not your question. I mean, it just, yeah. But could you imagine if yeah, so much of our culture is all the Bengali kirtans, all the, yeah. Sarvakala paya pana, anna nahi khai, prabhur kirtana vipra deki bare chai. So there's one particular brahmachari who lived in Navadvip. He was austere, saintly, and faultless. He only drank milk and did not eat rice. This Brahman wanted to see the Lord's kirtan. Gaudiya Bhashya. Since the brahmachari who considered that cooked food destroyed life and who took a vow to live only on uncooked foods like milk and mango, so since that brahmachari, that austere brahmachari, was unqualified to hear the glories of the Supreme Lord, he had no qualification to hear the kirtan behind closed doors. Direct service to the Supreme Lord is never found within the principles of dry renunciation. Foolish people who misuse renunciation consider that the ingredients of the Lord's worship are fit for rejection. South India, that would be really neat. South India is very special also. That's where bhakti first advented, right? Like the propagation of bhakti first was in South India, and then it moved up with the Alawars, right? Prabhu she duar diya karo ye kirtan, praveshite nare bhakta bina anya jan. Since the Lord performed kirtan behind closed doors, no one other than the devotees was allowed to enter. She vipra pratidin Śrīvāser sthane nritya deki bar lagi sadaye apane. This particular Brahmin daily requested Śrīvāsa to allow him to see the Lord's dancing. Tumi jadi ek din kripa koro more, apane loiya jaho parir bhitore, tobe she dekhite paya panditer nritya, lochana safala koro hoya krita kritya. This austere brahmachari said, if you bestow mercy on me and take me one day inside your house, I will be able to see Nimai Pandits dancing. Then my eyes will be successful and I will always remain grateful to you. E mata pratidin sadaye brahman ardine Srinivas bolila vachan. In this way, the Brahman daily appealed to Srinivas, who one day replied to him, Tomare to jani sarva kala boro bhalo, brahmacharye falahare gongai la kala. Shiva said, I know you have always been a good person. Throughout your life, you have observed strict celibacy and eaten only fruits. When my dad was temple president of the Laguna Beach Temple in the 70s, they had a diet of only fruit for years, actually. They only ate fruit and nuts and sour cream. Yeah, very strange diet. Kono papa, the whole temple. Kono papa nahi jani tomar sharire, deki bara tomar to ache adhikare. Your body is free from sin, so you are certainly qualified to see the kirtan. Prabhur she agya nahi ke ho jai bare, sangope thakiba ei bolilu tomare. But I tell you, the Lord has instructed us not to bring anyone inside, so you will have to stay hidden. Whoa, I'm surprised Śrīvāsa Pandit's going to try that. Gaudiya Bhashya. My mind keeps on going to Rukmini's thing. I wonder if different universes Mahaprabhu did appear in South India. Or like it wasn't always Bengal in all the, like in Nitya Navadvīpa Dham, do they speak Bengali, or it's like, anyways, I'm just can't stop thinking about it right now. Okay, Gaudiya Bhashya. Since according to Mahaprabhu's instructions, the milk-drinking brahmacārī had no qualification to hear the Lord's chanting, despite possessing a sinless body, when he begged Śrīvāsa to allow him to see the Lord's dancing, Śrīvāsa advised him to remain hidden within the house. Yeah, how different are the Lord's pastimes in different universes? I'm sure it's not, the cultures in the world isn't the same in all different universes. It must be like completely different cultures, maybe different languages, different everything. Whoa. Anyways. Sorry guys, I need to focus. Okay. Eto boli brahmanere loya chalila ekadike ada hoy sangope rahila. Okay, so Śrīvāsa Pandit, he says, but I tell you, the Lord has instructed us not to bring anyone inside, so you'll have to stay hidden. So after speaking in this way, he took the Brahman inside and hid him in one corner. Nritya kore chaturdasha bhuvaner nath chaturdike mahā-bhāgavata vargasat. Thereafter, the Lord of the 14 worlds began to dance in the midst of his most fortunate associates. Krishna Rama Mukunda Murari Vanamali Sabe Mili Gai Hoy Mahakutuhali. They all jubilantly sang together, Krishna Ram Mukunda Murari Vanamali. No worries, Rukmini. It's a really interesting topic, though. Like, I'm going to be thinking about this all day, probably. Nityananda Gadadhar Doriya Bedai Anande Advaita Singha Chari Dige Dhai. Nityananda and Gadadhar held each other as they twirled around. The lion like Advaita ran here and there in ecstasy. Man, it would be so, can you imagine having darshan of that? Nityananda and Gadadhar twirling around, holding each other, and Advaita Acharya running all over in ecstasy. Mahaprabhu's kirtans, man. Parananda suke keho bahya nahi jane Vaikunta nayaka nritya koroye apane. As the Lord of Vaikuntha personally danced, everyone lost external consciousness in transcendental happiness. Hari bolo, hari bolo, hari bolo bhai. Iha bhai ar kichu shunite na pai. Nothing could be heard other than Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Oh, brothers, chant the holy names, Hari Bol. Ashru kampa loma harsha saghana hunkar ke kohite pare Vishwambharer vikar. Who can describe Vishwambar's transformations of ecstatic love, like shedding of tears, shivering, hairs standing on end, and loud roaring? Sarvagir Churamani Vishwambharai Jane Dvija Lukaya Achaye Etai. Yet Lord Vishwambar, the crest jewel of omniscient persons, knew that a Brahman was hiding there. Rohiya Rohiya Bole Prabhu Vishwambar Aji Keno Prema Jog Na Paya Nirbhar. Lord Vishwambar repeatedly stopped dancing and said, why am I not feeling any ecstasy today? Gaudiya Bhashya. Yogis who are free from material activities and averse to the Lord's name, form, qualities, associates, characteristics, and pastimes do not have any information about love of Krishna. Therefore, even though they are exalted in material calculation, Their aversion to love of God, which is transcendental to the four goals of life, devours them. Although such bad association is considered desirable in the eyes of ordinary people, there is no possibility of attaining love of God in such association. Śrī Gaurasundar revealed that love of God is absent in the association of persons who are averse to love of God. Keho jani ashiache bariyar bhitore, kichu nahi bhuji satya koho teki more. Bhoy pai Śrīnivāsa boloye vachan, pashanter ithe prabhu nahi agaman. Shabe ek brahmacārī boro su brahman, sarvakal payapan, nishpapa jivan. Dekite tomar nritya shraddhatar boro, nibrite achaye prabhu jani acho daro. Shuni krodhabesh tave bole Vishwambar, ঝাট ঝাট বাড়ির বাহির লইয়া করো মোর নৃত্য দেখিতে উহার কোন শক্তি পয়পান করিলে কি মতে হয় ভক্তি. I cannot understand. It seems someone is inside the house. Tell me the truth, Mahaprabhu said. In fear, Śrīnivāsa replied, O Lord, no atheists have come inside. There is only one brahmacārī, a pious Brahman who leads a sinless life and only drinks milk. He had a strong desire to see your dancing. You have rightly surmised, O Lord, he is hiding inside the house. This is an interesting point here. Only having a desire isn't the qualification, but we need the mercy. This is bringing up the whole thing. Because I was going to say you need the mercy of the devotees, but then Śrīvāsa Pandit was merciful to him. So he did get the mercy of the devotees. But anyways, this is Mahaprabhu's giving an instruction here. So, on hearing this, Vishwambar angrily said, quickly take him out. Chat, right? Chat. Quickly take him out. Quickly take him out of the house. What qualification does he have to see my dancing? Can one attain devotion to me by drinking milk? Gaudiya Bhashya. Since Gaurasundar did not feel ecstasy in the kirtan, and since he realized that some bad association had entered the house, he inquired about this from Śrīvāsa Pandit, who replied, no irreligious person envious of the Supreme Lord has entered this house. A sinless Brahman brahmacārī who has taken a vow to live on milk and who is devoted to his duties is hiding within the house because he was eager to see your dancing. On hearing this, Mahaprabhu considered that person a non-devotee and expressed his anger by ordering that he should leave the house. When there is no guarantee that by only drinking uncooked milk one attains devotion to the Supreme Lord, then how can a non-devotee become eligible to see the dancing of a devotee? Because he was bereft of unalloyed devotional service, ahoituki bhakti, he developed a propensity for executing materialistic austerities. All austerities aimed at non-violence and imagined to be favorable to religious life according to ordinary consideration can never be steps to devotional service to the Lord. Inclination towards the service of the Supreme Lord and lording it over the material world are not equivalent. Yes. Tui bhuja tuli prabhu anguli dekhai, paya pane kabu more keho nahi pai. The Lord raised his two arms and extended his index fingers while saying, no one can attain me simply by drinking milk. Gaudiya Bhashya. Attempts to achieve saintliness or supremacy in the world under the shelter of non-violence are not evidence of inclination for the Lord's service. This was specifically pointed out by Śrī Gaurasundar. Even by nishkam karma, right? means offering the fruits of all your activities to the Lord, isn't enough. That's not bhakti necessarily. Offering all the fruits of all your activities, everything you do, offering that to the Lord, that's not bhakti. I mean, it can become bhakti, but bhakti is very specific. Chandale o mohar sharana jadi loy, she homor muitar jani ho nishchoy. Know for certain that if even a chandal surrenders to me, he is mine and I am his. Gaudiya Bhashya. If by his past karma, a human being takes birth in a degraded family, yet has a strong inclination for the service of the Supreme Lord, he is very dear to me. He is certainly a Brahman whose body belongs to me. There is no doubt about it. Sannyasi omor jadi na loy sharan, she homor nahi satya bolilu vachan. If even a sannyasi does not surrender to me, he is not mine. This is the truth I am telling you. But even if a chandal surrenders to me, he is mine and I am his. Gaudiya Bhashya. If even a sannyasi situated in the topmost ashram becomes averse to the service of the Supreme Lord, then it is a fact that such a person should not be accepted as dear to the Supreme Lord. Gajendra banar gope ki tapa korilo, bolo dekhi tara more ke mote pailo. Ashure o tapa kore ki hoy tahar, bine mor sharana loile nahi par. Nahi paro, sorry. Tell me, what kind of austerities did Gajendra, the monkeys, and the cowherds perform to attain me? Even the demons perform austerities. But what is the result? Unless they take shelter of me, they cannot be delivered. Gaudiya Bhashya. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 11:12 verses 1 through 8, the Supreme Personality of Godhead speaks to Uddhav as follows. Narodayati mam yogo. Sorry. Narodayati mam yogo na sankyam dharma evacha na swadhyayastapastyago nishta purtam nadakshina vrittani yagyas chandangsi tirtani niyamayama yatha varunde satsangha sarvasanga pahohimam. My dear Uddhav, by associating with my pure devotees, one can destroy one's attachment for all objects of material sense gratification. Such purifying association brings me under the control of my devotee. One may perform the Ashtanga Yoga system, engage in philosophical analysis of the elements of material nature, practice non-violence and other ordinary principles of piety, chant the Vedas, perform penances, take to the renounced order of life, execute sacrificial performances, and dig wells, plant trees, and perform other public welfare activities, give in charity, carry out severe vows, worship the demigods, chant confidential mantras, visit holy places, or accept major and minor disciplinary injunctions. But even by performing such activities, one does not bring me under his control. Satsangena hidaityaya jatu dhana mriga kaga gandharva saraso naga siddhascharana guhyaka vidyadhara manusheshu vaishya shudra striyontyja rajastama prakritayas tasmin yuge yuge. Oops. Bahavo matpadam praptas tvashtra kaya davadaya vrishta parva balarbano mayaschata vibhishina Sugrivo Hanumam Riksho Gajogridro Vanikpata once again. Vyadakubja Vraje Gopyo Yagyapatnyastata Pare. In every yuga, many living entities entangled in the modes of passion and ignorance gained the association of my devotees. Thus, such living entities as the Daityas, Rakshasas, birds, beasts, Gandharvas, Apsaras, Nagas, Siddhas, Charanas, Guhyakas, and Vidyadharas, as well as such lower class human beings as the Vaishyas, Shudras, women, and others, were able to achieve my supreme abode. Vritrasura, Prahlad Maharaj, and others like them also achieved my abode by association with my devotees, as did personalities such as Vrishaparva, Bali Maharaj, Banasura, Maya, Vibhishan, Sugriv, Hanuman, Jambavan, Gajendra, Jatayu, Tuladhar, Dharmavyadha, Kubja, the gopis in Vrindavan, and the wives of the Brahmins who were performing sacrifice. Tenadita Shruti Gana Nopasita Maha. Huh? I think this is supposed to be like this. Nopasita Mahatama Avrata Tapta Tapasa Matsangdan Mam Upagata. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's all the verses are messed up in this. That's why I have to pause a lot. The verses I've mentioned the persons I've mentioned did not undergo serious studies of the Vedic literature, nor did they worship great saintly persons, nor did they execute severe vows or austerities. Yeah, it does say abrata. Simply by association with me and my devotees, they achieved me. Kevalena hi bhavena gopyo gavo naga mriga yenye mudha dio naga siddhamam iranjasa. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, including the gopis, cows, unmoving creatures such as the twin Arjuna trees, animals, living entities with stunted consciousness such as bushes and thickets, and snakes such as Kaliya, all achieved the perfection of life by unalloyed for me, and thus very easily achieved me. A poet of South India is quoted in the Padyavali as follows. Vyadasya charanam druvasya chavayo vidya gajendrasya ka kubjaya kimunama rupamadikam king tatsudamno dhanam vangsako vidurasya yadava pater ugrasya kim paurusham bhaktya tushyati kevalam nachagunar bhakti priyo madhava. Did the hunter named Dharma have any piety? It's Dharma Vyadya that we just read about. Did age qualify the 5-year-old Dhruva? Did Gajendra, who lived by Trikuta mountain, possess any learning? Did Mathura's Kubja, the maidservant of Kamsa, have any beauty? Did Sudama Brahman, the friend of Krishna, have any wealth? Did the social status of Vidura disqualify him? Did the prowess of Ugrasen, the king of the Yadus, disqualify him? Madhav was pleased with their devotional service. He is not pleased by material qualities. Let's just see the verse because that was such a long purport. I just want to see. So tell me, what kind of austerities did Gajendra, the monkeys, and the cowherds perform to attain me? Even the demons perform austerities. But what is the result? Unless they take shelter of me, they cannot be delivered. Prabhu pole paya pane more nahi pai shakalo korimu churna deki bare dekibe etai. The Lord continued, one cannot attain me only by drinking milk. You will see right here how I smash him to pieces. You will see right here how I smash him to pieces. Churna means powder, doesn't it? Mahabhoye brahmacārī hoila bahir. Mane mane chintaye brahmana mahadhir. As the brahmachari left in great fear, that sober Brahman thought to himself, E boro bhagyamoi je kichu dekhilo, aparad anurup shasti o pailo, arbhut dekhilo nrita, arbhut kirtan, aparad anurup pailo tarjan. I am indeed fortunate to have seen something. I have also received appropriate punishment for my offense. I saw that wonderful dancing and wonderful kirtan, and I was punished according to my offense. Gaudiya Bhashya. The austere brahmachari was an impersonalist. Since he was devoid of the propensity to serve, he could not appreciate the display of intoxication and ecstatic love of God. This was the cause of his offense. Those who consider the dancing and crying in need of living entities intoxicated by material enjoyment in this world as equal to the devotees singing, dancing, crying, and laughing for the Supreme Lord, those people are offenders who consider them to be equal. As a result of receiving punishment in the form of Sri Gaurasundar's chastisement, the impersonalistic brahmachari became enlightened. Sevaka hoile e matta bhudi na hoy, sevake she prabhur shakal danda soy? Soy, yeah, soy, I think. Yes. Shakal danda soy. Only a servant of the Lord develops such a mentality and is able to tolerate the Lord's chastisement. Gaudiya Bhashya. Because of self-realization, persons whose hearts are constantly engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord never express displeasure in any of the Lord's actions. Considering themselves fit for punishment, such persons respectfully accept the Lord's judgment and remember their previous offenses. They do not endeavor to oppose the judgment of the Supreme Lord to attain religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation. In this regard, one should discuss the Tatenu Kampam verse along with the Ashlishava Pararatam. And then they gave the whole translation. I'm not going to read it all though. So these two verses, Tatenu Kampam and Ashlishava Pararatam Pinashtumam, the last verse of Shikshashtakam. Verse spoken by Sri Gaurasundar. I think everybody here is familiar with those two verses. And Srila Saraswati Thakur didn't quote it. This is a footnote. E mata chintiya chalite dvijavar janilen antaryami prabhu vishwambar. As that exalted Brahman departed while thinking in this way, Lord Vishwambar, the Supersoul, understood his heart. Dakiya aniya puna karuna sagar para parma dilatar mastak upar. The Lord, who is an ocean of mercy, called the Brahman back. The Lord, who is an ocean of mercy, called the Brahman back and placed his lotus feet on his head. Prabhu bole tappa kori na karo ho bal, Vishnu bhakti sarva shreshta jana ho keval. The Lord then told him that he shouldn't be proud of his austerity, and he should know for certain that devotional service to the Supreme Lord is supreme. Vishnu Bhakti Sarvashreshta. Gaudiya Bhashya. Referred to the previously quoted Śrīmad Bhāgavatam verses 11, 12, verses 1 through 8. Also, in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10:23, verses 42 to 43, it is stated, Nasam dvijati samskaro na nivasa guravapi, na tapo natmamimamsa, na shocham na kriya shubha. Tathapi hyutama shloke Krishna yogeshwareshware bhaktir dridha nachasmakam samsaradi matam api. These women have never undergone the purificatory rites of the twice-born classes, nor have they lived as brahmacharis in the ashram of a spiritual master, nor have they executed austerities, speculated on the nature of the self, followed the formalities of cleanliness, or engaged in pious rituals. Nevertheless, they have firm devotion for Lord Krishna, whose glories are chanted by the exalted hymns of the Vedas, and who is the supreme master of all masters of mystic power. We, on the other hand, have no such devotion for the Lord, although we have executed all these processes. In the Padma Purana, it is stated, Hari Bol, Nari Hari Prabhu, and Pavatarani Mataji. Hari Priya Didi says, such a beautiful mood to always remember. Yes. So wait, what was I reading? In the Padma Purana, it is stated, Mahakula Prasutopi Sarva Yageshu Dikshita Sahasra Shakadhyayicha Na Guru Syad Avaishnava. A non-Vaishnav is never fit to be Guru, even if he has taken birth in a great family, performed all sacrifices, and studied many branches of the Vedas. In the Narad Pancharatra, it is stated, Aradhito jadi haris tapasa tata kim, naradhito yadi haris tapasa tata kim. One second. Antar bahir yadi haris tapasa tata kim, nantar bahir yadi haris tapasa tata kim. If one is worshipping Lord Hari, what is the use of performing extraneous penances? And if one is not worshipping Lord Hari, no such penances will save one. If one can understand that Lord Hari is all-pervading within and without, what is the need of performing penances? And if one is not able to understand that Hari is all-pervading, all his penances are useless. Nice verse. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 11:20-31, it is stated, Na jnanam na cha vairagyam prayashreyo bhaved iha. The cultivation of knowledge and renunciation is generally not the means of achieving the highest perfection within this world. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10:81-19, it is stated, Sarvasvam apisiddhinam mulam tach charanarchanam. Devotional service to his lotus feet is the root cause of all perfection. In the Padma Purana, it is stated, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnur aradhanam param tasmat paratarang devi tadiyanam samarchanam. O Devi, the most exalted system of worship is the worship of Lord Vishnu. Greater than that is the worship of Tadiya, or anything belonging to Vishnu. Okay, so Mahaprabhu said, the Lord then told him that he shouldn't be proud of his austerity, and he should know for certain that devotional service to the Supreme service to the Supreme Lord is supreme. Anande krandana kore she vipravar prabhur karuna gun smare nirantar. That exalted Brahman cried in ecstasy as he continually remembered the merciful qualities of the Lord. Hari boli santoshe shakal bhaktagan dandavat hoya porilo tatakhon. All the devotees then jubilantly chanted the name of Hari and immediately offered obeisances to the brahmacārī. Shraddha kori jai shune esha brahasya Gaura Chandra Prabhu Tare Milibo Avashya. Anyone who faithfully hears this confidential pastime will certainly attain Lord Gaurachandra. brahmacārī prati kripa koriya thakur ananda aveshe nritya koren prachur. Subak केहू बार बार ना केहू बार बार फोन After bestowing mercy on the brahmachari, the Lord profusely danced in ecstasy. Now he had the qualification to witness the Lord's dancing. Shre Dvija Charane Amar Namaskar Chaitanyar Dande Hoilo Heno Buddhi Jar. I offer my obeisances at the feet of that Brahman, whose intelligence was purified by Lord Chaitanya's chastisement. Gaudiya Bhashya. This verse describes Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's desire to accept and respect as a devotee the Brahman who was punished for his offense. E moto prati nisha koroye kirtan deki bare shakti nahi dhore anya jan. In this way, the Lord performed kirtan every night, but no outsiders had the right to watch. Antare dukhito shab loka nadiyar shobe pashandire manda boloye apar. As a result, all the people of Nadia were distressed at heart. They put all the blame on the atheists. Papishta nindaka buddhi nasher lagiya heno mahotsava deki bare nare giya. Because of the foolish, sinful blasphemers, we are unable to see such a festival. Papishta pashandi shab, shabe ninda jane, vanchita hoi amore eheno kirtane. They are all sinful atheists whose only business is to blaspheme. They are deprived of seeing such kirtans, so they simply suffer. Papishta pashandi lagi nimai pandita bhalore odvar nahi dena kadachit. Because of these sinful atheists, Nimai Pandit refuses to allow even good people inside. Gaudiya Bhashya. The Supreme Lord does not accept people who are sinless. The Supreme Lord does not accept people who are sinless, respected, or pious according to worldly consideration, or people who are sinful or and envious of the Lord. Yeah. That's just being sinless and respected and pious by worldly consideration is not the qualification, as we just seen in this pastime. Teho se Krishner bhakta janen shakal tahar hriday puni parama nirmal. He is a devotee of Krishna, so he knows everything. Moreover, his heart is most pure. Amra sabar jadi take bhakti take tabe nritya avashya dekhibo kono pake. If we are devoted to him, then somehow we will certainly see his dancing one day. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word pake means under some circumstance or somehow or other. Kona nagariya bole boshi thako bhai nayana bhoriya deki baya e thai. One of the inhabitants said, "Oh brothers, just wait. We will see the dancing to our full satisfaction right here." So see, even though these people seem to have the proper mood and everything like that, still they weren't able to see the Lord's dancing. It's not such an easy thing to have darshan. Sangsar udhar lagi nimai pandita nadiyar maje ashi hoila vidita. Nimai Pandit has appeared within Nadia to deliver the entire world. Ghare ghare nagare nagare, ghare ghare nagare nagare prati dware kori ben saṅkīrtana bolilo tomare. I tell you, he will perform saṅkīrtana from door to door at every house and in every town. Bhagyavanta Nagariya Sarva Avatare Panditer Gana Shabe Ninda Kori More. The inhabitants of Navadvīpa were most fortunate, for they accompanied the Lord in each of his incarnations. But the scholars suffered as a result of their blasphemy. Divasa hoile sab nagariya gan, Prabhu dekhi bare tabe koren gaman. Early every morning, the inhabitants would go to see the Lord. Keho nutana dravya, karo hate kola, keho grita, keho dadhi, keho divya mala. Everyone brought some gift, such as some new items, bananas, ghee, yogurt, or attractive flower garlands. Loya cholen shabe Prabhu dekhi bare, Prabhu dekhi sarvalok dandavata kore. Everyone went to see the Lord with such gifts. On seeing the Lord, they all offered obeisances to him. Prabhu bole Krishna bhakti hok sabar, Krishna naam guna boy na boli ho ar. The Lord said to them, "May you all attain devotional service to Krishna. Do not speak about anything other than the names and qualities of Krishna." Gaudiya Bhashya. When out of aversion to the service of the Supreme Lord, the living entities become conditioned, then sense gratification becomes their only goal of life. Conditioned souls are fully absorbed in gratifying their senses. The speech of conditioned souls is confined to material names, forms, qualities, and activities suitable to their sense gratification. Therefore, since the living entities have no opportunity to hear topics of Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, they become entangled in scrutinizing other subject matters. Desiring eternal benefit for the living entities, Śrī Gaurasundar blessed them with the words, "May the propensity for serving Krishna awaken in you." He further prohibited them from engaging in the prajalpa of discussing names, forms, qualities, and activities not related to Krishna. In other words, he instructed them to always engage in congregational glorification of Hari. As soon as discussion of topics related to Hari diminishes, discussion of sense gratification becomes prominent. This results in inauspiciousness. Apane sabare Prabhu kore upadeshe, Krishna nam mahā-mantra shunoho harishe. The Lord personally instructed everyone, hear the Hare Krishna Mahā-mantra and be happy. Oh, I think these verses are in the Hindi Gaudiya Gita Gucha, if I remember correctly. Gaudiya Bhashya. Conditioned souls devoid of devotional service to Krishna are always eager to gratify their senses. To benefit these living entities, Śrī Gaurasundar instructed them to happily hear the Hare Krishna Mahā-mantra. Those who are compelled to hear the holy names of the Lord are not very enthusiastic to chant. That's interesting. Why does it say that? Those who are compelled to hear the holy names of the Lord are not very enthusiastic to chant. Therefore, it is instructed that one should happily chant or hear the awarded Hare Krishna Mahā-mantra with full enthusiasm. Since living entities averse to the Lord's service are always associating with non-devotees and taking their sinful counsel, they naturally remain aloof from hearing topics of the Supreme Lord. The process for remaining aloof from material thoughts is called mantra. Instruction in the form of sound vibration is the only method for becoming free from thoughts of enjoyment and renunciation. One achieves perfection in chanting mantra when one keeps the vibrated sound within his heart and controls his materially attached mind. One person's mind is different from another person's mind. Therefore, the act of remembrance is intended for an individual. Therefore, the chanting of the name Hari by an individual is called mantra. A group of people can all chant the mahā-mantra together. Many people can give advice that is favorable to the process of sadhana, or spiritual practice. Therefore, there are many Shiksha Gurus, many instructing spiritual masters, but only one Diksha Guru, only one initiating spiritual master. The heart is purified by the Mahā-mantra and other mantras. As a result of the heart's purification, all the senses become free from the temporary propensity for material enjoyment and realize the eternal nature. Then, insignificant and abominable conceptions cannot become prominent. One who is not able to happily accept these facts is destined to remain in misery. Wow, we come to the Maha-mantra for the first time in Caitanya-bhāgavata. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Caitanya-bhāgavata, Madhya-khaṇḍa 23, verse 76. Gaudiya Bhashya. Although mantra is composed of the Lord's names, since the fourth, the dative case, is used in the address, it indicates self-surrender. So in Sanskrit, there's different cases. The fourth case is the dative case. And dative case means unto, like to you, unto you. So wait. Yeah, usually dative case is used. But every name in the Hare Krishna Maha-mantra is in the vocative address. There is no use of the fourth of the dative case as in mantra. Yes, it's not just like oh Krishna, I offer my pranams unto you, I offer my prayers unto you. But no, it's I'm talking to you, oh Krishna, oh Krishna, oh Krishna. Oh Hare, oh Hara, oh Krishna, oh Hara, oh Krishna, oh Krishna, oh Krishna, oh Hara, oh Hara. This is all in Sampodhan, in the vocative case in Sanskrit. So you're not mentioning their names in the third person here. It's all second person. There's so the smartas refer to the Maha-mantra as Tarak Brahmanam, the holy name that delivers one. All smartas are more or less impersonalists. So their belief is that one can attain impersonal renunciation after finishing one's material enjoyment. Persons who are liberated from the clutches of the karmis and jnanis are devoid of material desires. People controlled by selfish desires become sense enjoyers, whereas people desirous of liberation give up material enjoyment and endeavor to achieve liberation to rectify their situation. But by chanting the Maha-mantra under the shelter of such desires, the urge for insignificant fruits becomes strong. The vocative address for the name Hari is Hare, and the vocative address for the name Hara is also Hare. When the Swayam Rup name of Krishna, the omnipotent Swayam Prakash name of Ram, and Hari are chanted by a tongue devoid of material desire, it is no longer possible to engage in service within the 14 worlds, the Viraja river, or Brahmaloka. Then the opportunity for engaging in service begins only in the Paravyoma, or spiritual sky. If one considers the degree of ras found in Krishna's Swayam Prakash Tattva, Baladev, and in Baladev's subsequent Prakash and Vilas expansions, one will find that the full manifestation of all rasas is Krishna, who is Akhila Rasamrita Murti, the transcendental form of attraction for all kinds of devotees. Therefore, there is no possibility of the full manifestation of ras in personalities who are abodes of partial ras. That is why the plenary portions and the portions of the plenary portions of the Lord are more or less engage in the service of the Swayam Rup. When people realize devotional service to Krishna, they attain the service of Radha Raman, rather than considering themselves Atma Ram, or one who takes pleasure in the Atma, or spirit self. Yeah, okay, this in all different Gaudiya, Rukmini Didi says, Haribo, Jai Ho. Yes. In all different Gaudiya mats, you'll very often, oh, sorry, I haven't been seeing the Zoom chat. Okay, yeah. Yes, hey Krishna. Yeah, so in all the different Gaudiya mats, and maybe Bengali ISKCON devotees, I don't know, but you'll very often hear them sing these verses in kirtan, like on Navadvīpa Parikrama time, and you'll very often hear Prabhu bole kohilaya e mahā-mantra iha japa giya sabe koriya nirbandha. You'll hear that on the Parikrama. This is used in kirtan all the time. Actually, I think it's even in my Gurudev's Hindi Gaudiya Giti Kucha. Maybe we should add this into the English one, huh? Let me just check this out. Gaudiya Giti Kucha. Yeah, okay, so here's the Hindi Gaudiya Giti Kucha. And I'm pretty sure it's here. Let's just check really quick. Prabhu bole. Let's look for the word Prabhu bole. Prabhu bole. I'm sure I've seen it. Oh, I think it might be called Śrīman Mahāprabhu Adesh or something like that. Anyways, I'll find it later. But I think maybe we should add this into the songbook. It's a bit long, that's the only thing. We add in all the verses. Anyhow. Okay. Prabhu bole kohilaya e mahā-mantra iha japa giya shabe koriya nirbandha. The Lord continued, this is the mahā-mantra. All of you go and chant this mahā-mantra according to a prescribed number. Gaudiya Bhashya. The Hare Krishna mahā-mantra should be chanted loudly at every moment. The instruction for softly chanting the mahā-mantra is japa. The instruction for softly chanting the mahā-mantra in japa is also prescribed so that no one thinks it is not meant to be chanted softly. The word nirbandha refers to chanting the holy names according to a prescribed number. The Hare Krishna mahā-mantra is not meant to be only chanted softly, nor is it prohibited from being chanted softly. Yeah, it's not only meant to be chanted softly, or is it prohibited from being chanted softly. Both are okay. Since there's an instruction for 5 to 10 people to gather together and clap their hands while loudly chanting, it is understood that this mahā-mantra is not meant to be chanted softly, and the process of chanting the vocative mahā-mantra, in the vocative case, which is in the vocative case, along with the mantras that include names ending in the fourth case, the dative case, has also not been ignored. Right? Like that Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. That's all in the dative case. That's in the fourth case in Sanskrit. By use of the phrase Sarvakon Bolo, always chant, the consideration that the mahā-mantra is only meant to be chanted softly has been refuted. Iha hoite sarva siddhi hoive sabar, sarvakon bolo ite vidhi nahi ar. By doing so, everyone will attain all perfection. Always chant. There is no other prescription. I'm totally going to add this. Gaudiya Bhashya. There are many prescriptions to be followed before. Sorry. I think this might also be in the Chaitanya Gaudiya Mat songbook. I have to check. But there are many prescriptions to be followed before one becomes a qualified candidate for initiation. But even without following any of those prescriptions, simply by constantly chanting the mahā-mantra in upangshu japa, or chanting very mildly, everyone will attain all perfection. In other words, one attains the qualification to achieve all perfection, like material enjoyment consisting of religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. Liberation consisting of cultivation of impersonal Brahman realization, or love of God, which condemns these two. In the chanting of the mantra, there is a consideration of proper and improper time. Sorry, did I say mahā-mantra? I meant to say in the chanting of mantra, there's a consideration of proper and improper time. Yeah, don't chant your brahmacārī while you're using the toilet. But with the Hare Krishna mahā-mantra, there is no consideration whatsoever regarding proper and improper time, suitable and unsuitable candidate, or proper and improper place. This does not mean that one can attain any perfection simply by chanting any imaginary mantras or names, because such sound vibrations are born of agya-rudhi, the conventional meaning of words according to unenlightened persons. But mahā-mantra. Mahā-mantra can be chanted in any situation, any condition, anytime, anywhere. Second verse of Shikshashtakam. Dasha pancha mili nija dwarete boshiya kirtana koroho shabe hatte tali diya. 5 to 10 people can sit together in a house and perform kirtan while clapping their hands. See, that's the dative case. Haraye of Hari. Haraye nama Krishna Yadavaya namaha Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Interesting. And this is dative case, and this is dative case, but these three are in the vocative case, isn't it? You should chant Haraye nama Krishna Yadavaya namaha Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Saṅkīrtana kohilo etoma sabha kare Śrī putre bape mile koro giya ghare. These are my instructions on how to perform saṅkīrtan. Go home and chant together with your wife, father, and sons. Gaudiya Bhashya. Any mantra that starts with bij and ends in the fourth in the dative case, or any mantra that starts with om and ends in the fourth in the dative case, should not be chanted loudly. But nam are the vocative form of names as well as mantras that do not include bij or om, and which do not end in the fourth dative case, but with the word nama can be chanted loudly. For example, Haraye nama Krishna Yadavaya namaha. For example, Haraye nama Krishna Yadavaya namaha is chanted loudly. Interesting. Yeah, I can't think of any time that when we sing anything. Yeah. That's interesting. Nothing should be chanted with the bij mantra out loud. And that's in the dative case. Prabhu mukhe mantra pai. What is it? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. But what about Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? That's in the dative case, and that has an Om on it. Are we not supposed to chant that out loud? I don't know. Prabhu mukhe mantra pai sabar ullas dandavat kori shabe chale nijavas. I'm just saying that's what it's saying here, right? Anyways, I'm just question. Having received mantra from the mouth of the Lord, they all became jubilant. After offering obeisances, they returned to their respective homes. Gaudiya Bhashya. Everyone became jubilant on receiving the 16-word, 32-syllable mahā-mantra, as well as mantra with names in the fourth and the dative case ending with nama. According to the consideration of materialistic smartas, it is inauspicious to exchange mantras that begin with om and end with swaha. But chanting the mahā-mantra or any mantra in the vocative form is widely accepted, because such mantra neither starts with om nor includes bij. Interesting. Okay, we're going to end with this verse. Niravadi shabe japen Krishna nam Prabhur charanakai mane kori dhyan. They engaged their bodies and minds by constantly chanting the names of Krishna and meditating on the Lord's lotus feet. Gaudiya Bhashya. Those who have controlled their minds and have accepted the Lord's instructions regarding nam and mantra engage in softly chanting the holy names while directly and indirectly meditating on Krishna. In Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 2.8.4, it is stated, Shrinvata Shradaya Nityam Grinata Swacheshtitam Kalena Natidirgena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Persons who hear Śrīmad Bhāgavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead Śrī Krishna manifested in their hearts within a short time. After worshipping the Lord with mantras for hundreds of years, one attains the qualification for chanting the Hare Krishna mahā-mantra. Activities like meditation are possible only when one attains such qualification. Otherwise, the instruction given in the above verse prohibits activities like artificial meditation. Oh my God, we're 2 minutes over time. I didn't even notice until just now. Sorry, guys. I'll end here. But I'm just going to read a couple verses just so we can see. In the evenings, they gathered in their houses and performed kirtan while clapping their hands. In this way, the son of Shachi inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names from village to village. The Lord stood up, embraced each one of them, and then offered his garlands to them. With a straw between his teeth, the Lord appealed to them, "Oh, brothers, worship Krishna day and night." Yeah, these are all in the songbook, in the Hindi songbook. I remember seeing these. They all cried on seeing the Lord's anxiety. They all engaged in the process of saṅkīrtana with their bodies, minds, and speech. Anyways, I want to continue reading, but we'll have to stop here, and we'll continue this tomorrow. All right. I'll do quick mahā-mantra, and we'll end. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Ho, Jai Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Garanga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki Jai. Nityala Pravishtam Vishnupachila Bhaktivedanta. I'm going to do a short Jai Dvani because we're over time. Nityala Pravishtam Vishnupachila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj ki Jai. Nityala Pravishtam Vishnupachila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki Jai. Nityala Pravishtam Vishnupachila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityala Pravishtam Vishnupachila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki Jai. Nityala Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Swapashachi Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gana ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtana ki Jai. Jai, the Mahaprabhu's mercy on the austere Brahman ki Jai, the milk drinking Brahman ki Jai. Jai, Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan pastimes ki Jai, the inauguration of Sankirtan and Navadvīpa ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki Jai. The Gaudiya Bhashya of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams. Champak Mataji, Satya Mataji, Krishna Mai Didi, Nri Hari Prabhu, and Bhavatarani Mataji. And on YouTube and Facebook, Raseshwari Mataji, Hari Priya Didi. Lots of comments. Wait. Oh, nobody wrote any comments, but there's 10 people there. But only 2 people wrote comments, so I can only, no, 3 people. Hari Priya, Rukmini, and Raseshwari Mataji. So I don't know who all of you are, but Dandavat pranams to all of you. And yeah, look forward to reading the rest of this chapter tomorrow. We'll continue reading the Lord's instructions to the inhabitants of Navadvīpa to perform saṅkīrtana, and then the Kazi will break the mridanga in Śrīvāsa Thakur's house. So yeah, exciting reading tomorrow. All right, Dandavat pranams, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Haribol. Oh, and I'm just seeing Rukmini Didi's comments here. He said, yeah, so regarding Srila Saraswati Thakur said that we should never chant a mantra with Om and then have it in the dative case. And so then I was asking about Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, but then Rukmini Didi saying that in recitation of Śrīmad Bhagavatam 5:18, there are several such mantras. And Gajendra also said Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai, etc., etc. In Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Interesting. Yeah, it's a good question to ask somebody. Yeah, I don't totally understand that, Gaudiya Bhasha. All right. Dandavat pranams, everybody. See you all tomorrow. Hari Bol. Is there anything anybody wants to say before I end? All right. See you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna. And I think I'm going to add that in. I'm going to check that out right now. And what we just read, those last verses, and also some of the verses that we'll be reading tomorrow, I think I'm going to add it into the new edition of Gaudiya Giti Gucha. So I'll let you know if I actually end up doing it. I think I am.